all good?
Nope. So, oh yeah, I'll wait till the meeting starts.
Hello.
There. Put those pictures in Dork Chat. 3 good ones.
Did Roof not join?
Yeah, he's having issues with his audio.
I was. You can hear me now?
I can
Yeah.
hear you now.
Yeah, when I rejoined, it wouldn't even let me up. It was real weird.
Look at you, all dork-fied out, man. That's impressive.
Bogan, how many tags did you get?
You get 1 buck tag for $24, and then they throw 3 more doe tags with it because there's so many deer out here. Yeah,
Awesome.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I got 1 more to go.
Yeah.
That'll feed you all winter. Yeah.
That'll feed us all the way till next year. All the amount of burger. I'm probably gonna mix in 40 or 50 pounds of beef and pork with it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, welcome everybody. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be heard when I first joined, but yeah, Bagman's here. He was playing with the dog, and he'll be here for a little bit in the meeting. I guess we can go ahead and get started. Everybody ready to get going?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We basically, the entire ecosystem, all the meetings and stuff took a week off, but we're ready to get back to going. I wanted to mention that I talked with Zarmian about the network reports, and we've been kind of discussing whether or not there's a better option for this where all of the data that we're looking for could just be hosted on Voy rewards instead of having to have somebody else kind of generate all the stuff. I still think that it'd be really beneficial to have have Fury just understand what's going on the network, obviously. But if there's an easier way to just kind of link over to what's happening, I do think that's kind of in the overall best interest. And if it frees Fury up, then maybe it would be something where we could just find something else that'd be more suitable. So just for you guys to think about. Also wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Cool. Also wanted to mention as we're getting started that we heard from Gov today that all of the recent proposals have been confirmed and approved by Block Authority. So there was no, just in case anybody watches this later or whatever, there was no pushback from Block Authority about the decisions we made. Everything is going to just go ahead and move forward. And we've talked a little bit about the grants that we did approve. I know that Bagman and Shelley are working on the payment system for Aramid and other things in the future. And I think you guys probably know and understand that many of those things kind of took kind of a backseat during Thanksgiving when people are traveling. So I would expect we would hear additional things about that like next week. But I didn't have it on the information here, but I will just mention that yeah, Bagman's been traveling for Thanksgiving. He came down here, and we had a really good working session today for Dorkfi, and really cranked out a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping that we're going to be seeing some some big changes and improvements kind of in the next couple days to make that platform even better, more whole than it currently is, and all that. So that's what's been going on for me. Does anybody have anything that they would like to kind of chime in on?
Are we gonna have open council discussion later?
Yeah.
We can wait for that. We'll just wait for that.
Okay, cool. Next section here. By the way, receiving the minutes, we did have minutes from last time with from Yayo. He did a great job, so thank you for that. Communications manager. Um, you know, we're still kind of figuring out what's going on with Coop. I think that we can all agree that the total asking price as far as USDC is a pretty big ask for this ecosystem, and I'm not sure what we're gonna want to do with that. Has anybody like really thought about it a bunch and had?
Yeah, I have thought about it. It's a lot. It's at the point where it's more than half the just for 3 months, more than half the USDC we have paired with Voy. We may be getting into territory where, if approved, I think there may be some questions from Block Authority and things like that.
Yeah, I agree and I understand. I haven't seen the updated numbers. He said that he submitted them.
So he did. He did submit another proposal, and all it has in it is just the title. And the rest of it is blank.
I wonder if the form just defaulted back to his old one, even though he changed it.
Because we haven't seen anything that I could see that has updated numbers in Voy. We have dollar values on the current template, on the current proposal. And yeah, like you said, for 3 months for $10,000, it's quite a bit. I was hoping he was going to come forward with some, alternate plan that would have additional, Voy values, investing and stuff like that we could just kind of get behind and go for it. But I haven't seen that. So I don't know. I feel like we really do need to see him provide that in order to keep discussing it. Otherwise, I think we should really start to look at and discuss some alternative, and maybe even discuss if in the short term, if having the blockchain accounts doing a lot of stuff is even in the best interest when it comes to like spending $3,000 or $4,000 a month on it.
I mean, if we had, my thought was if we had like 100,000 in liquidity, like on the stable side of TVL, I don't think it would be a big deal. I think Coop would be great for this, but I think the amount of money that would make it worthwhile for him might just be out of what we can afford right now.
Yeah. Another possibility is, like let's say we take away the requirement for Fury to do the network reports and stuff like that. Is there like a space in this to have Fury or somebody else like just posting, even if it's not like a whole voice of Voy kind of thing, but having somebody just post stuff daily to the X account and bypass this process?
I like that idea. It's we have
that would be
the budget for stuff too, like for Voy. I added it up. We're only half of where what we're projected to be at right now.
Yeah.
So
and my goal so far has been to like reduce the wasteful time that like Fury and others are spending. We did away with the network meeting because it just didn't make sense. But there's a possibility that this time could be spent on something like this and still be within the kind of realm of the total amount of time that was spent before. We lost Scotchka, by the way. Yuri, what do you think?
Firstly, I want to report that from last 2 weeks, the Grafana dashboard is not working, so I'm not able to pull the data in. I mentioned this to Shelly last week also, but he told that he will look out, and still it was not working. So I reminded him yesterday, and he told me that he also don't know who is responsible for that, and I need to reach to block authority, maybe Chris. So yeah, so I will just ping Chris today, and let's see why the Grafana dashboard is not working. I have updated the reports with all the other metrics which I found from VOI rewards and VOI market. But for the main data, what we need for our calculations of relay payment, I don't have that, and that's very important. And it's critical because after some times we are not able to pull the data from history.
Okay. All right. So we'll need to make sure that that we bring that up to block authority or somebody to say we need to have that data available so that we can actually capture the relay performance. But in general, if they do make this stuff available on VOI rewards and kind of break down the information so people can understand it better, it'd be much better to just provide somebody with a link instead of having to rewrite it. That's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah, it's a nice thing, but we need to understand like once we pull the data, we need to process it somewhere, and then we need to generate some kind of readable information in text, and that's I think so a bit quite a hurdle because the data we get is just about relays and peers, and other data we need to pair it somewhere, then run some kind of AI or ML to generate readable information. So if we are able to do that in weekly proper timely fashion, then perhaps we can display that information. But because the information is available in chunks that too from various platforms, I doubt that it's possible in just a single go.
Your connection, by the way, is very fuzzy, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, it just sounds like a lot of static. It's okay.
Just am I good now?
Nope, same thing. It's real staticky. It's okay. Just go on mute for now, and we'll figure it out.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like information is available in chunks on different websites. So we need to aggregate them and then process the information to generate some kind of readable information.
Okay. Yeah, I think that what I was saying though is it's like a discussion to be had with Zarmi and whether or not he can pull the data and just put it onto VOI rewards instead of having to rehash it into a spreadsheet. But
Yeah, and other thing is like we also need that Grafana relay information each week. So regardless of whatever we display on the VOI rewards, we need to have that information if we want to process the payments in future.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand.
Also, we need to understand that once we go peer-to-peer, we don't need to depend on this relay information. So is that very necessary? If we are doing that P2P in 1 or 2 months, then I don't think that we need to waste time on that stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Regarding this, what was the Coop's job?
He was like the whole process was supposed to be he was going to be creating like a whole new tone for the network and posting on the X account and other places, posts and videos and things like that. What I was suggesting is maybe it doesn't need to be all of that stuff. It doesn't need to be videos and things, but it just needs to be somebody who's checking out the account, fairly often and posting things that are important to the
Okay. what do you think? Like, what is the reach of our Medium posts?
I'm not really sure. I've never posted from Voi's Medium account. I still think we have like a lot of people on the Voy account following Twitter and all that kind of stuff that it's probably like a lot of bots. I don't see a lot of interaction. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll do a workout on Twitter and all the social media reach channels, and I'll let you know what I understand, and let's see what strategy we can devise from these things.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right.
Fun.
Nuss, do you want to get into the proposal stuff?
I'm there.
Okay, yeah, we got Okay, we talk about Coop. So what are we gonna do with him? He's not showed up tonight, I don't believe, and are we gonna put him on hold? Because it's been over 30 days since it started, and so but we need to put it. Need to know what we're gonna do then.
It sucks because he's responsive, but he said that he's provided additional information that nobody's seeing.
Yeah, I closed and reopened it, and it's definitely blank. So.
I think now that the holidays are over, we need to just set a meeting with him, with the whole council, and then let him know what we are asking for as far as the specifics in the proposal, and then just feel them out if we're gonna move forward with it all with this.
I almost
I
feel
agree
like
with that.
we need to just decide what the council is willing to spend on this and tell him like that instead of waiting for him to give us a number.
Yeah, because it was hard to get in a meeting with them anyways, with everybody's different schedules.
Right. Yeah, I like that idea.
So let's come up with a number. What do you think it's worth?
Well, I think it's a couple different baskets of things. Part of it is probably going to be things that he's going to convert to USDC. Part of it's going to be Voy that's going to be vested over a longer period of time, and part of it, I think, a smaller portion that he's been asking for is going to be Voy that'll be usable for giveaways and things like that. And we just need to figure a total.
We could take that part out of like the different basket, right? One out of marketing, one out of some for ecosystem.
And we
It's
should
just hard
also,
for us to get rid of the USDC right now, or the USD.
And we should also figure out during this process what amount, like the different, like what's required for these different amounts. Like I think everybody's kind of been generally thinking that this is all going to involve, a true voice of the network, some personal kind of like FaceTime, some videos and things like that. I would assume that all that stuff was going to be involved in this. And so we should, when we agree to what we think the payment amount is, we should also take a look and say, what did we kind of expect to be getting from that, and what those different areas are kind of worth from a percentage perspective.
Just an idea. Like Taco has 5,000 followers, and Coop's got 20, so he's got a quarter of it. Maybe if we talk Taco into doing something with taking up a role. I know he's been busy, but we ain't gonna do it.
Half of Taco's followers are his alt accounts.
Oh yeah, all right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
All right.
No, I would immediately vote no.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, I don't think Taco's got the bandwidth with opening up a second location, regardless.
Yeah, here's what I think we really need to do, guys. We need to treat this as a job rec, right? So we have a job, we need to post requirements and establish a salary for it, and then put it out there. Whether it's Coop, whether it's Mazza, whoever it may be, right? We need to say, guys, this is what we need, and this is what we're gonna pay.
Moss is a good idea.
and then go from there. Obviously, if Coop is not interested in what we have, then he can say, "Hey, I appreciate it, but I'm out," and then we can put it out there for the community to see who's interested. And hell, we could even go through an interview process and talk to these people. You know?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. As a community member.
We went out and got some pizza and had some beers, by the way.
Hey, it was moderate.
Moderate beers. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. So, like, maybe that's the next step is that we just create a general job opening and put it out there for people to bid on it and not worry about the individual. Just figure out who is going to do it the best.
Yeah, I agree. From what Coop was saying, anything less than he requested wouldn't be worth his time. But maybe we could come up with something that's less time, and he'd be okay with it. And I don't know what we'd be offering. In my head was something like 1.5 million a month.
Yeah, I just
That-
did up. So 2 million would be at current price would be $720 a month. So that's at 2 million a month.
I mean, and it could be something where someone just spends, half hour a day, just maybe in like 10-minute sections, just posting and replying.
I mean, yeah, the challenge I think is that, yeah, you could find lots of people who could just post and reply. It ends up being a different overall value proposition than somebody who is going to do a lot of additional like media stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like all this time, I could have done an hour a day of posting and replying, and I don't know that we would really get anywhere.
Yeah, probably right on.
But
Not
I
that
think
you
we did
couldn't
okay
do it,
with
but
the
yeah.
ammo thing. The ammo was I think boosting some engagement, but then it kind of fell off.
It was, but I think a lot of that was we had a team. I mean, we had like 4 or 5 people just constantly. Every time there was something, just throwing ammo out there, and it seemed
Yeah.
to.
So I think for now, we can get back to Coop and say, hey, one, we haven't found your new proposal, your edited one, but we are also going to come up with basically a job posting and then let him look at it and kind of go from there. I think we can move on to the next one, in my opinion, for now.
all right.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so we got a humble ecosystem. It needs we need somebody to needs to be assigned to it. So anybody want to take that one?
Where is the humble one inside of the agenda?
It's so there's probably 2 agendas again. I went straight from I created one. This was before the one from last week that we didn't do, and I just changed the date on it and then updated.
Yeah, I'm in there with you.
Yeah. Okay. It's right there, proposals to process, and then the ones that need assignments, number 2.
Okay, got you.
All right. So we need somebody to champion that.
You want to
Any
hear
takers?
Bagman's thoughts about it before we get into that, or no?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and just from my understanding from it, it is an extension on the existing full incentive program. So not all of the incentives from last year went out, and this is an extension on the existing program to extend it another year. And it's also it adjusts the
Yayo.
it's okay. It adjusts some of the incentives out there, so it includes more markets than what were originally there to begin with.
Okay. Yeah, I did some research. It's more than it looked from the beginning. So I think it's a good idea. It's changed my opinion on it. So
Yeah, that's the. Well, you know what? I'm gonna check if there wasn't That's the one with the WAD incentives also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it
only
didn't
thing
look.
Wilder's saying. Oh, sorry. Did you guys read the
Oh,
Discord? What Wilder was saying?
I saw
I
writing, and I
I
saw that there was a revision to that after he talked with Shelley, but I don't know exactly.
I did read that, but I was gonna say from what I read, it doesn't look like it increases the 36 void cap. So it would be.
The way that I was, yeah, it does not increase that, but the way that I was reading while there's communication in the chat was there may have been a little bit of a misunderstanding on how the markets on DorkFi can be used, and then it sounds to me, at least the way that I read it, was he's very defensive about block authority and their power that they might have through depositing and through pools and farming. It wasn't a coherent argument because it was a little bit all over the place to me personally. But you know, I don't know if there was a revision that was made, but yeah.
By the way, one thing I learned today, just as an aside, because we've been working on DorkFi things, I mentioned to the Dork chat about a week ago that there was an opportunity to basically borrow Void, put it on a node, and earn a substantial amount more of APY.
It's crazy.
And Gov could not believe that nobody had done it yet. He was trying to figure out who was borrowing Void, and I'm pretty sure it's just Shelley, or maybe like Shelley and somebody else is like borrowing Void and putting it on a node. But the APYs for DorkFi borrowing is like way lower than the 30% that you earn for block rewards for your Void deposits. So if anybody's watching this, there's an opportunity for you to be earning more. All you got to do is
There's a lot of great opportunities. I'm trying one out. I'll report back if it works.
Gotta get that first mover advantage.
right.
But yeah, from it looked like Wilder's final concern was someone crashing Void to depeg WAD and just get liquidated.
You can. I think that pegging WAD is like it's. I mean, right now it's possible based on like large moves or whatever. But and I think that it's also possible that like one big player who selling a lot of Void could have a major impact on the ecosystem. But I also don't think that it really makes a lot of sense for somebody to do that
It will cost
because
them more.
yeah, their cost is higher than their gain unless they truly believe that they're going to create some kind of like snowball effect that has everybody selling and then they're going to just buy for zero. I mean,
they could technically come up with something, but there's just not a liquidity in Void to really make that worth the risk.
Right.
He said Wilder posted that he's doing order every 5 minutes, or some $5 every so many minutes and $7 every so many minutes, till he gets $120,000 of Void bought, bringing up the price. So he's got something planned.
Yeah, I mean, and that whole conversation about buys came in long after the conversation you guys were talking about for WAD. So I mean, even his whole thing must have changed if he's got way more bullish about the Void ecosystem. If you had this conversation.
Let me quickly ask you guys as the DorkFi. So there is still a plan to make WAD movable from Void to Algorand and eventually base, right? So I think Wilder was unaware of that, because that would present some like massive headwinds into trying to.
I mean, so fundamentally, the thing that's missing right now is the ability to borrow on Algorand and take loans on Void. But that's also something that's in the works is being able to have collateral on one location and borrow on another location. So I mean, like all of this stuff, it's not quite fleshed out, but like I said, I think that the way he was looking at it before, even by the end of the conversation in that chat, was solved because like half a week later, he was talking about putting in large buys on Voy and was being very bullish about like the direction that the chain is going. So, I mean, I don't discount that he's got like, you know, interest and passion in certain areas. Um, I just think that I think the whole thing needs to be looked at instead of in little bites. It needs to be looked at as a whole.
And I appreciate, yeah. Oh, sorry there.
No, I was
Cut you
gonna say I just don't think that we're, you know, DorkFi has been rolling out. It's been gradual, but it's rolling out pretty quickly right now, and we're almost complete with our markets. And pardon, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry.
I'm going to add a cricket sound.
Um, and and there's, you know, at the end of the day, the WAD stuff is unlocking this ability for people to borrow against assets, including predominantly unit right now, because we've been discovering that people have a shit ton of unit and they can use the borrowing power of that without selling it to do a host of other things, including get a hold of assets that they can pair together and earn APY on major platforms that don't even involve the Voy ones. So it's just gonna kind of continue that way. And I'll also mention, you know, something we've been talking about today is I think that there's a terrific amount of opportunities out there for people to earn APY on paired assets, and you don't even have to own a bunch of hog. You can borrow hog, pair it with unit, and you can get like a wild amount of APY on Tiny Man. And we're going to be looking for people to tell us where they're finding good opportunities for the things that they're borrowing on DorkFi, and we're going to be incentivizing those things. And you know, all of the really good opportunities out there have nothing to do with just like full port selling whatever your token is that you're borrowing. It's possible that somebody's out there is going to say, "Hey, I've got X amount of Voy. The slippage on me selling it is Y, you know, and instead I'm going to take a loan out up to the hilt, and I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to walk away from it." It's possible they could, but that same person could also just sell it all for USDC or whatever else. So we're never going to be like fully out of this mode where somebody can just sell what they have and move on with their lives. But what we need to do is just continue to build and identify opportunities for people to use those assets in new and creative ways to make a case for the fact that they don't need to be selling it, that they can be reinvesting into the chain. So that's one of the big kind of takeaways that we got from the past couple of days talking about DorkFi specifically, since we're on that subject.
So does the proposal for Humble, is that directly relates with what you're talking about, right? With the WAD, was for the WAD. So
it's for,
was you gonna
It does.
Are you gonna vote?
Like it's Humble wanting to offer the DeFi incentives on WAD, so it will give the ability to earn additional interest on Humble using WAD as a token.
It's not treating it exactly like USDC, but it's kind of incentivizing the locked value of another stable coin on Voy.
And
you know
what the Humble proposal is to expand the current set of tokens that are included in the incentive program, and adding WAD is one of those tokens that's included in that incentive program.
Yeah. So if there's nobody there putting their money into it, then there's not gonna, the incentives won't gonna get put out. So we're not hurting ourselves, right? So it's not but a good thing.
And there are other incentives for WAD elsewhere, but you know, right now it's not a part of the DeFi incentive program on Humble, and this would extend to cover WAD on that.
Okay. Cool. Anybody want to champion it?
I think it probably shouldn't be me.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, are you going to vote? Are you going to vote? Or are you going to refrain from voting?
I don't.
And
I
if
was-
so, then we're going
I don't think that I need to
Yeah.
vote on it. I think it's going to be fine on its own, and I can
Yeah.
abstain.
so we
I'll
might have to
vote
be
on it.
prepared for a 2-2.
Yeah,
I'm
2 no, 2 yes.
I'm just wondering if I should even champion a Dork Labs investor. I honestly, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't if someone else is willing to, but if no one else is, I'll do it.
I honestly think that this one is fairly straightforward because it's just adding one
Yeah.
to an existing scheme that has already been approved. But it doesn't. It's up to
I
you.
mean, I agree with that. It really is. I think we're over complicating it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be easy to quickly fill out the form. It's so much
All right.
so
Scott,
similar to the.
We're gonna assign it to you. Get it done, and we'll fucking vote on it.
All right, I'm championing it.
What a guy.
I'm a big fan of moving quickly.
There you go.
Well, when it's in everybody's best interest, it's not hard to pass something like that.
And I could just look at the original evaluation too from the
Yeah,
humble. It's literally just an extension.
This is one you probably could feed to Grok and say, here's the original and here's the supplementary. Like, what are the differences and what's the big change? And it'll probably tell you it's the same amount of funding. It's just being applied to one additional token. All right.
Wow, we already put it in Grok, he said.
There you go. So I guess we can move down to waiting for revision hold, BA exit, new policy.
Yeah, that was for the. Never mind. I'm sorry.
The block authority. This is about the block authority rewards, right?
No, this was yeah, taking the relays off. So with the update.
So, I mean, we talked about this before. I kind of feel like this one we should just put on hold until the code gets changed over. We can feel upset about the fact that block authority is getting node rewards for running nodes with stake, but they have a large percentage of the nodes and relays, the ballast nodes and relays that are actually running, and having some kind of compensation for that, I don't think is a big deal, especially if we consider that over the next, like month or so, we're expecting for them to transition to the next kind of AVM state where all of this stuff just goes out the window anyways, and they don't need to run those nodes. I think that we should definitely start to kind of narrow down what the timeline is for those things to happen. And I don't think we've heard that, so it'd be really appropriate for us to ask Block Authority what's been done so far to begin to prepare the network for an upgrade. But if they're going to be upgrading in the near future, this would basically take care of itself.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I thought Gov came on here in one of our original meetings, like one of our early meetings, and told us that we're going to do that. That was what, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he said then it would take about a month, so it should be close to getting it done.
Yeah, and I think we should ask because I haven't heard anything about it. We haven't really heard much about whether or not they've actually made any kind of headway with it. And if it lingers, then this proposal becomes more interesting. But if
we got that 30-day hold. Sorry to interrupt. The 30-day hold.
If they're actively working on this, then no, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
And then we also had the hold on removing Article 3, Section 6, which is basically being circumvented by the fact that Scotty's done a pretty full review of the Constitution and we should be looking at the Constitution in a more holistic manner also. And I think that's what we decided a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen any comments on there. I seen a lot of Scotty and comments on there on the Constitution.
I need to get into it. I've been busy this weekend, but I need to get in there and look at it also.
Same here. I haven't been at my computer almost in a week, so my apologies for that.
I think we should agree on because it's going to be here somewhere about Scotty's review of it, that we should all take some time and review and provide comments so that we can have like a longer council discussion about the Constitution next time.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. Skip over the proposals passed. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Open council discussion. What is this?
So this is so I just put it in there for everybody to kind of check it out. That's just where all the VOI has went since we began, and and there's 2 lines. I just had a couple questions. We can talk about it next week and put in action items. Yeah, just from due to a little bit of chatter on the Discord, I think we should do a transparency report.
Okay.
Maybe try to put one together for everybody out there.
Just transparency report about like where all the tokens have gone and what we've been what the network has been investing on, both the previous council and ourselves.
Yeah, 'cause I read a comment something about all we're doing is we're paying ourselves and out of the money, and it's and the price is tanking, and a couple people were upset talking back and forth. So we put it out there so everybody knows what's going on.
And that a part of that whole same conversation was about limited off ramp like you have here.
Yep.
I truly believe that people don't understand how to bridge off of FOI. And frankly, even today, I noticed that USDC from VOI to base is very limited, but USDC from VOI to Algorand is no problem. So
you could add VOI to,
I don't know what the issue is, but I can tell you that I did notice Aramid finally solved like 90% of the issues that were outstanding, so that's positive. And if they need to be kind of pinged so that they start to have more liquidity for transfers from VOI to base, that'd be good. I think it's good for Dorkfi specifically because we're going to be doing a lot of expansion into base. But if people want to cheat, then and they can't figure out how to do it on Algorand. I mean, it's not like the option isn't available. It's definitely there. They just they're not choosing to do it.
Can I suggest something for Aramid? Many people have requested me they do the transaction without even able to see how much liquidity is present in what pair. So can we ask Aramid team to show the liquidity available in pairs before doing the bridging? So that way there will be less failed transactions.
Yeah. Well, I can ask if they can add something, but like for base, there's a big red notice that pops up that says that the amount that you're trying to do is less than the available. But I don't know.
Yeah, also we need to tell them that they need to update their links in the documents because the new URL starts with beta, but there is also old URL which is still working. So if the users use the old URL, it's not redirecting to the claim page.
Well, the Aramid, the old URL works for some things. Like today, the USDC transfer for me worked better URL. The new URL actually had a problem with USDC. It wasn't displaying my balance, but it's much better for doing meme coins and unit and stuff like that. So I mean, ultimately they need to just consolidate the whole thing and make it work. But we're not going to immediately solve that. It's going to be up to them.
Yeah, so that's where the confusion is. Many of them are using, some of them are using old, some of them are using new.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the challenge. Is like you can't just expect the main website to work for everything. It's like sometimes you need to move to the beta, but I don't know how to tell people that, and I don't really know that. You know, I mean, ultimately, it's like an Aramid messaging thing. I'm not sure what we're going to do about it.
We all can reach out to it and send them a message, and maybe they'll do something.
Yeah, that's true. I've been pinging him on Telegram and telling him what's working and what's not working, but and I'll mention, I can mention tonight even about the fact that people are interested in finding out, you know, why transactions for USDC or whatever won't work on Base half the time. I think it's a fair question, but you know, ultimately the real question is, we want a lot of things to work on Base, and why aren't they working on Base? Like I want Unit to be functional on Base, but I don't think it hasn't been for the entire time that I've known about it. But yeah, I'll mention, and we'll see what he says. Is the transparency report thing, if that's something that's important to people, is that a report that could be conducted by Fury instead of the network report for next week?
I started helping Shelly out with one, but we didn't get very far with it, and kind of got put on the back burner. But there's in our drive, there's a file with the transparency report. If anybody wants to start adding to it or do whatever they want, everybody that's got the permissions can do it, okay. Which is all of us pretty much. So if anybody wants to look at that and add to it.
So what are we going to put on the transparency report?
I just think it's just where we're standing with our tokens and what's went out and what's planned to go out, maybe. And any sell-off events, maybe like where we sold at Void for cash were somewhere in there. I don't think there was very many. I think there's 2 lines that I saw so far.
No, there's only one time.
One. Oh yeah, the other one was a loan.
It was within the first. It was within the first month of go live, where we sold off an amount for market making. I can't publicly say.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I haven't.
Yeah, so not a lot of selling off once. Most of it is payments, small payments to community members for things that they've done.
Yep.
But, and I'm looking at sheets. It's not all that much.
No, it's not. And I just read that, and I thought, well, maybe we need to have something where we can tell them, well, look at where we're at. Go here, and you can see everything we've done.
Yeah. So again, Fury, are you still there? Is that something that, like a report on kind of like the buckets and where funding has gone? Would that be an okay thing for you to do this week instead of the network report? I've already reached out to Benedict about the fact that the relays aren't showing up.
Yes, so yeah, let me just have a talk with Chris. If you can bring up in a block authority, then it's okay. And once that's up, I will just pull the data and update the reports. I have sent the reports for this week and last week in the chat, but it's partial.
Yeah.
For now. Also, it's not a full final. So as you were saying that you need to finalize it. If there is anything that you need to add it in, then just let me know, because currently I'm preparing two reports. One which I was doing the earlier, that is Google Sheets, and other is this readable format, Google Docs. So I will be keeping on doing both of them.
I wouldn't even, I mean, at this point, I would say don't even worry about the Google Docs one. Drop the data into the sheets you were doing before, but there's not going to be any information about relays unless you have the dashboard.
Yeah.
Which is why we reached out to Benedict. So it's like you're doing basically like half a report there. I don't think it's all that important, to be honest with you. Like, we know generally where the network is working. What we need to do is figure out, you know, the information that makes somebody want to run a node or not run a node and that kind of thing. But if we can get that all on Boy rewards just by pulling the same information and processing it a different way, it's going to save time.
Okay, I will see what I can automate, and I will also talk with Zarman and see how we can put that data in Boy rewards page.
Okay. Sorry, I'm typing to Aramid so I don't forget. Okay. What's next?
I think we've went through everything.
Okay.
Summarize action items. So just
Did we skip over the chair pay and secretary pay?
Oh, I saw comments on that. Somebody was saying that the increased amount should come out of other salaries. I don't necessarily think that's necessary.
yeah, that was me. I just was thinking about other people complaining about us just taking the money. That was that day that I read that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that funding is like within the discretionary budget that we have for this specific
NFT
purpose.
meme coin से उसको DeFi बोलते हैं ना? क्या बोलते हैं?
But and I think I've already reduced the amount approved for me
तो इसको क्या बोलते
by
हैं?
some decent chunk.
NFT market, meme market जो है उसको क्या बोलते हैं?
So would you guys have to do like a token request every month for that? Kind of like how I do with the admin services.
अच्छा, तो वो .fi जो है वो है.
I'm not sure. I've never really done like a monthly request for things. I think that whatever we would do, we would agree to it. We would just, I guess we would, if the individuals would do a request for it, or we could.
Did you guys see what Scotty posted right after the Constitution post about the one pager, council member one pager? He updated that, and it's pretty good. It's really good. I mean, like it's everything you need to know right there.
देखो मैं क्या बोला उसको, डेली की पोस्ट करेंगे, डेली का रिप्लाईज देंगे पोस्ट पे जो आएगा उसको, ठीक है ना. वीकली एक मीडियम की पोस्ट बनाएंगे वही सबका सम अप करके, व्हाट हैपेंड इन वीक करके, ठीक है ना. एक स्पेस लेंगे और एक गिव अवे देंगे, ठीक है. इतना ही करना पड़ेगा.
About the previous council salary and governance allocation, they're going to need the wallet addresses of the individuals who want to receive the funding, and apparently the submitter's name needs to be changed because it was submitted by Bagman and he's not on the council anymore. So apparently we just need to change that one little thing. Easy, K. Council salary and governance allocation has been approved by BA, but a wallet address needs to be added and the submitter's name needs to be changed because it was submitted by Bagman the last council. Once it's updated, it'll be ready for a token request.
Cute.
Okay, and then I guess we're all going to do our own token request on that.
No,
That's for the
मजबूत
whole
आदमी नहीं
council,
पसंद
not
तुमको
for us.
Oh, okay, okay.
the way that it should be working now is that you guys each provide your .void addresses, the same ones that you provided before, should be distributing these funds over time. Like it should be automatic on a monthly
Oh.
basis. That's how it was done before. And maybe it's just a little bit of clarification for EZK that there should not be a token request per council member each month. You just have to remind if yeah, I don't know. You don't even have to remind it. It should be
Automated.
Automatic.
yeah. And this is where, you know, we can potentially use the grant pay tool as well to do this type of distribution.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
Yeah, that's the ideal scenario. But for now, it's just each of your .void addresses that you guys got voted into the council for are the addresses. So if EZK, if you're listening, the .void addresses for the council elections for each of these guys are the ones that get distributed that monthly budget that was passed. And then I don't know about the chair seat and all the other distribution because that's beyond me. That's you guys.
I would think that it should just be tacked on to the existing, but it's, I don't know. I think it's also something we can just figure out after the meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. So as far as back to that grant, I think we're all okay with it. Then we're gonna go ahead and is it ready for vote? Have we voted on it? Do we need to?
It needs an evaluation done by somebody. Somebody needs.
Does it really though? Because it's funding that's coming from this budget that's already been approved. I thought, isn't it like it's like a.
Well, it's kind of shaky subject there with that. I mean, they're just kind of allotting ourselves money. Don't want. I guess that would be an issue with some people, maybe.
It was already, yeah, I think it was already passed though. That budget, the additional budget was already like approved and passed. And so we're just using that budget that was already passed for a purpose, you know. So yeah,
I guess Block Authority. Yeah, Block Authority will tell us.
In the future, somebody could say, we don't like the fact that you've done this, but then I would probably say, I didn't see you at any meetings, and we were told that it was within the realm of possibility for how this should be happening, and that additional effort, deserved some additional funding, and we did that. It's not a special amount of funding. It's just from this budget that was already passed.
Okay, I'm gonna put it to a vote.
So yeah, I think that's the way I would do it. But
if they wanted to complain, they should have complained when I was putting out the whole budget. Like the only complaint that we got was, "Hey, you as current council members shouldn't be advocating for your own salary."
That's why we passed that one after the fact.
So, the way that it seemed like the entire community and you guys as current sitting council and past council members and even Block Authority agreed that having the flexibility of having a budget that could be used for specific tasks was the way to go, and giving you guys that freedom. But hey, at the end of the day, like personally, the last meeting that I was in, you guys talked way too much about this.
Yeah.
Like enough. There's bigger and better issues that we got to tackle at the moment.
I agree. Okay, so we have that going to a vote. That's fine. I guess as far as everything that was on the agenda got covered. Action items from last time. Do we have any update on the relay payouts, or I guess that was just needing to fill out a token request, right?
I thought that was like very.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Cool. Any other stuff we need to discuss in this meeting?
No, I just want to recap the action items for this meeting.
Sure.
Just follow with BA for the
Transition.
network upgrade. We're coming up with a job rec, right? Job rec. That would be everybody from us. I guess we'll tell Coop we're gonna put this on hold, or for now until we get this, right?
Yep.
I think that's it. Oh, Humble ecosystem got assigned to.
Gotcha.
Yep. All right, that's all I have. Is there anything else that I missed?
Airmid needs updated. We're all gonna send him a message. Needs to be done.
I messaged him already about the depth of USDC on base, but
And we're gonna find out what block authority, if they're gonna upgrade or how they're doing with their upgrade.
yeah, that's on the list. Okay. Before I heard you, we talked about it, but Fury are the node payouts for old relays? Is that like, are we good on that, or are we still waiting on individuals, or what's going on with that? Okay. Were you still waiting on addresses from individuals, or was that all taken care of? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Then I think we're good for the week. We'll focus on those couple of things that we really need to focus on, and I think one of the biggest things this week is going to be making sure that we all take some time to look through the recommendations for the Constitution changes, because that'll be a large kind of undertaking if we all agree that there should be some changes made.
Sounds good.
All right, then let's call it a night, and we'll talk about this more.
All right. Later, everybody.
Yeah, see ya.